Today we're going to learn how to assemble the Homidea 2-in-1 design backlit LED house number and sun activated overhead light. Now before you begin your installation, verify that you have the correct numbers for your home address. So if in the case of this particular home address, their address is 58, so make sure you have the 5 and make sure that you have the 8. Now, separately from the actual number order, also make sure that you have the power supply for your purchase. So in this case, we have the N unit and the light sensor to make sure that the entire backlit unit lights up. Finally, if your backlit unit is further than 1 meter away from the power supply source, make sure that you purchase the 3-meter extension cord to connect it to the plug outlet. Now we're ready to assemble the backlit LED house number kit. We have the power supply and the individual home unit numbers ready to be assembled. We're going to assemble first the actual numbers. To start off with, we're going to remove these little foam pads. Make sure you remove these foam pads because if you don't, the numbers will not assemble properly. You'll also notice that when the numbers are put together, the pins are going to fit in snug. This is a selling feature because we don't want humidity and moisture to enter into the slot because that will shorten the useful life of this particular product. So we want it to fit in nice and tight, like so. Pull it together, voila, connected. Then we connect the end unit, the end module to the actual numbers, and then finally this power supply. There you go, assembled very easily. Now finally, you're going to take some screws and that are supplied with you in your kit, and you're going to insert them into the actual unit to ultimately have the appearance like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Finally, once the unit is assembled, you want to verify that the actual power is going to work with the actual unit. To do so, you just need to plug it in and put your hand over the sensor to verify that the unit is working fine. In this case, it's working beautiful. It is ready to be mounted onto the wall. Now we're going to install against the wall the backlit LED house number. The first step is to take the plotting sheet or the mounting template and put it against the actual number that you are going to be installing against your wall. To commence, take the edges of the paper and mount it along the edge of the actual LED panel. Hold it right against it nice and flush. Now, take the edge, kind of fold it along the edge to definitely mark the edge. Once you're done, take a pair of scissors and cut off this excess edge. You don't need it and it'll probably confuse you, so you're better off just to remove it outright. Once you're done, that particular piece of paper should look like this. The paper now is your source and mounting point to show you how to install it against the wall. When you level it, put this against the wall, take a level and make sure that it's exactly mounted in the way that you want to see it against your wall. Again, this is where the actual unit will be installed. Drill your holes into the actual template. In this case, there's 2 numbers, so we'll have 3 holes to drill and an additional hole for the power supply. 1, 2, 3, power supply. The power supply hole should be approximately 2 inches from the bottom and 3/4 inches from the side. Depending on the substrate that you're drilling into, you will also want to have the appropriate type of drill. For example, if you're drilling into concrete or brick, be sure to have an impact drill. If you're going to be drilling into vinyl, wood, or any other substrate, have an appropriate drill for that as well. Once the holes are complete, add in the anchors as appropriate. Now, mount the appropriate pins onto the actual template. You'll notice that you have 2 different types of pins. You have pins for the bottom and pins for the top. The pins for the top have typically an elongated base. The base pins are shorter at the bottom and have no fold marks. Now you are ready to install the LED panel against and into the wall. Be sure to feed the electrical cord in first. Now, take the pin and fold it with your fingers along the top. Voila, installed.